Walz made himself fair game, since his only attack was that the other guy was weird. Because everyone is weird, the more you get to know them. It's why marriage is a commitment. Over time, both spouses realize we're all bat crazy. But there's weird and there's dangerously insane. And that's thinking children can decide to have themselves castrated. And that's Tim Walz. Kamala Harris has created her own scented candle. And just like her, it gets lit every night. She's a drunk.
Greg Gutfeld walked onto that stage and delivered a full comedic destruction of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and the crowd was not ready. With sharp sarcasm and perfectly timed jokes, he exposed what he sees as the biggest weak spots in their political game plans. From Kamala's famously circular answers to Walz's soft leadership style, nothing was safe. If political spin had a face, Gutfeld punched a joke right on it and never looked back.
CBS's 60 Minutes was caught editing their interview with Kamala Harris to make her look better. It's a shocking ethical lapse. Mike Wallace must be rolling in his grave. Not over this, though, but that his son is Chris Wallace.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but the future.
You know, that's some bad weed. Generally, when people get high, they actually have some interesting thoughts. Not her.
Gutfeld didn't just show up that night. He arrived like a comedian, locked, loaded, and running on pure sarcasm, with a grin that basically said, "This is gonna hurt." He set his sights on both Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. This wasn't just a roast, it was a full double takedown. And by the time the smoke cleared, the political stage looked like it had been hit by a comedy wrecking ball.
Remained a constant, then what impacted the polls? And it's driven by identity politics.
We're gonna cook today.
Okay.
Is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're gonna do it again in 2024.
What would Trump have to say about Kamala's qualifications?
Well, you know, she's flip-flopping, Greg. I mean, these are flip-flops. And Indian people and blacks wear flip-flops, which is good.
If you're enjoying this sharp breakdown so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. More moments exactly like this are coming. He opened with Kamala Harris, the vice president with a long government record and a speaking style that Gutfeld compared to a broken GPS. He zeroed in on the strange rhythm of her public speeches, those carefully built phrases that twist, loop, and spiral like a freestyle rap that lost the plot halfway through. Every time she speaks, he joked, you genuinely cannot tell if she's making a policy point or performing spoken word poetry at an open mic night.
One of them, Politico says, is like Walz's wide eyes showed his passion and emotional intensity. Can we show that? There is his wide eyes. That humans would widen their eyes to convey that danger is close. What emotion are you getting from that? Sorry.
He compared her delivery to someone who just discovered metaphors and now shoves them into every single sentence, whether they fit or not. On real issues, Gutfeld said she barely scratches the surface, like they have a do not disturb sign on them. In Phoenix, he joked that asking Kamala to explain inflation was like asking a cat to do your taxes. Plenty of noise, zero results. She dances around big topics carefully, he said, as if the truth might break on contact, filling the silence with nervous laughter and a word salad that leaves everyone more lost than before.
Walz, it's hard to even bring him up. He has a resting snitch face. You know? I mean, he forfeited his man card during COVID and the riots. And you're right. And also, at that diner, of course, he left early. So don't you find it weird that for a terrifying threat to democracy that Trump is, not a single interviewer in his history has approached him with trepidation?
If you're hoping for clarity, forget it. Gutfeld said her speeches sometimes sound like a TED Talk given by someone who skipped every rehearsal. He called out her well-known habit of dodging tough questions, saying that watching her in interviews felt like someone playing dodgeball with facts. Whenever reality came her way, she'd fall back on lines like, "Let's be clear," without ever actually clearing up a single thing. He compared it to a cooking show where the chef explains lasagna using only cloud metaphors and a nervous giggle. Plenty of talk, zero insight, just confusion on a plate. Then came the border, a topic she's been officially tied to but rarely touches directly. Gutfeld's take, it's like a gym membership. Technically there, almost never used. He joked that she treats the border like it might fix itself if left alone long enough, and that she's more likely to appear on Mars than anywhere near it. When immigration does come up, he said, she handles it with all the urgency of a distant weather update on a Tuesday afternoon.
I want to see this in slow motion. You'll see Walz extends his hand to his wife. She grabs it. They shake. He pulls her close and then goes in for that non-friction hug, all the while still shaking her hand. I wish there was a word to describe that. Oh, yeah, weird.
Just when the audience thought the hits couldn't get any sharper, Gutfeld turned to Tim Walz. If Kamala brings the confusion, he joked, Walz brings the hesitation. Gutfeld described him as the kind of leader who walks into a crisis carrying a clipboard and walks out with nothing but a shrug. Under his watch, he said, Minnesota started feeling less like a success story and more like an endless pile of red tape. Gutfeld took direct aim at Walz's pandemic-era choices, the kind that had everyone sitting through Zoom calls, mask updates, and mixed messages that changed week to week. He painted Walz as a captain drifting aimlessly through his own rules like a DJ playing tracks nobody asked for. Gyms closed one day, opened the next, but only under strange conditions. Health policy under Walz, he joked, felt like it was written by a panicked group running entirely on chaos.
As a teacher, my number one responsibility in the classroom is the safety, security, and belongingness of every single child in that room. These are children my son's age, a 4th grader, a 10-year-old, who just wants to go to the bathroom, and their identity is they are male or female, and they just go in that bathroom and use it, end quote. Sounds so folksy, you know? Belongingness. Yeah, they'll be belonging in therapy with this guy at the helm.
And in the crime surge, Gutfeld did not go easy. He said Walz treated the rise in violence like a rumor he was hoping would quietly go away. Minnesota's major cities fell into unrest, while Walz responded with meetings, press statements, and what Gutfeld called a steady look of mild concern. He described Walz as someone who read the leadership playbook but in reverse, starting with blame and skipping action entirely. Watching Walz speak to reporters, Gutfeld joked, felt like a substitute teacher trying to explain rocket science to a room full of kindergartners, awkward, lost, and completely out of place. He also mocked his flat public presence, calling it soggy mop dull, and saying his mission was about as sharp as a bat in broad daylight. Walz didn't lead, he stalled. He didn't decide, he delayed. And when problems blew up, he acted like someone else had lit the fuse.
Question of what can be unburdened by what has been.
We see what can be unburdened by what has been.
To see what can be unburdened by what has been.
Believing in what can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been?
Having faith in what can be unburdened by what has been.
See what can be unburdened by what has been. To see what can be unburdened by what has been.
You know, if Kamala gets dementia, it would be an improvement.
But Gutfeld wasn't even close to finished. He circled back to Kamala with the precision of a seasoned roast master. He brought up her time as California's Attorney General, arguing that her reforms often felt more built for headlines than for real justice. He also took aim at her ever-changing positions, joking that she's a political chameleon that constantly updates itself, like it's permanently connected to Wi-Fi.
This administration and the spouse swapping of the VP and the president, we saw it before. Like, Dr. Jill didn't kiss Joe like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now he couldn't wait to get that full embrace. It wasn't a bro hug, it was a yo hug. And he put his wife in the friend zone.
Yes.
It's always, that must have been a fun car ride home.
Yeah.
Why can't you hug me like her husband? I mean, it's just, it's weird.
It is weird. You know, Joey, I think that it's okay to take Walz's picadillos, if you call it, apart, because remember, he broke the seal by calling Vance weird, and we're all weird, including him.
Yeah, we're very weird.
Then came the legendary nervous laugh. Gutfeld pointed out her habit of bursting into laughter at exactly the wrong moments, almost like she's buffering in real time. He joked that Kamala's nervous giggle could power a small wind farm, and that it reliably shows up the moment she realizes she has no answer. Asking her a straight question, he said, is like setting off a Rube Goldberg machine. Complicated, noisy, and going absolutely nowhere useful. Then he swung back to Walz because apparently there was still plenty left to say. He mocked Walz's heavy reliance on task forces and committees, where every single issue, from violent crime to potholes, gets turned into another study, another panel, another delay. He compared it to piling up laundry and quietly hoping someone else deals with it. He also torched the education results under Walz's watch, with test scores dropping while funding poured into programs that sounded like rejected TED Talk bitches, leaving kids more fluid in buzzwords than actual knowledge.
Kamala Harris is the Democrat candidate for president of the United States. I'll give you a second to come to. The border czar who couldn't find our southern border on a map of Texas now wants to be America's commander-in-chief. Kamala couldn't lead a campfire sing-along, let alone the country's armed forces. But does that matter? Not to the media. Now, they would like this framed as a team sport battle, left versus right, Democrat versus Republican. But in reality, it's the media narrative machine versus...
Then Gutfeld paired their flaws together like a perfectly matched set of dysfunction. Kamala's confusion, he said, fits right alongside Walz's indecision. Two sides of the same shaky coin. One delivers speeches that come out completely scrambled. The other runs things like, he lost energy halfway through and never got it back. Together, he joked, they're like a buffering Wi-Fi signal, always trying to connect, never quite getting there. He wrapped up their combined impact with a brutal closer. Kamala shows up with half-formed ideas, while Walz tries to manage everything as though leadership can simply be microwaved. Put them both in a room to solve a problem, he joked, and Kamala would serve up a word salad so deeply tangled that even AI would struggle to decode it, while Walz quietly calls for a task force and slips out the back before anything actually gets resolved.
Her first major speech last night since Trump took office, and it was another classic ball of verbal vomit. Here she is referencing a viral video of elephants. Watch.
Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake?
Gutfeld also went after Kamala's carefully built public image. Constructed, he said, like a shaky Jenga tower stacked from friendly interviews, glowing headlines, and polished empathy. He contrasted that with Walz's flat, forgettable presence, joking that it felt like a 404A4 error trying to run an entire state. In his view, neither one truly leads, but both have become remarkably skilled at dodging blame. What had the audience absolutely roaring? His comparison of Kamala's vice presidency to a group project where she barely shows up but absolutely still wants the credit. Meanwhile, Walz runs Minnesota as if he's still sitting around waiting for the tutorial to finish loading.
Former VP nominee Tim Walz, he joined Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps. I wonder, is our strength our diversity?
Our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what.
Then came the knockout line, and it landed hard. Gutfeld argued that both Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are living proof of what happens when style completely beats substance. In his words, they're like a beautifully racked box with absolutely nothing inside. He called Kamala's laugh a national mystery. He said Walz's vision for the future is basically an urban legend, and that if Walz ever announced a bold plan, you'd need a translator, a dictionary, and a good chunk of free time just to figure out what he actually meant. He painted the final picture, Kamala at a podium saying things that sound meaningful until you replay them and realize they're almost entirely empty, and Walz standing right beside her clutching a binder stuffed with buzzwords, not even sure which page he's on. Together, Gutfeld concluded they're a duet with no melody, both talking but neither one actually saying a single thing. And Gutfeld made one thing crystal clear. He wasn't finished. Because as long as Kamala keeps speaking in riddles and Walz governs like he's following an instruction manual written in invisible ink, there will always be another headline to mock, another policy to laugh at, and another moment just begging to be roasted. If you've made it this far, you already know the truth hits different here at WO Storm. Hit that like button and subscribe right now, because over 98% of viewers never do, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Don't let the politicians off the hook. Stay with Walker Storm and let's keep View to Truth together one punchline at a time.